I ever feel like video games could be even cooler, like if they were actually designed differently, not just played differently. What if you could just skip the hard parts of making a game, all the really hard parts, and just get to the awesome stuff right away? That's kind of what we're diving into today.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. It's like game development, even with all the advancements we have, it still uses some systems that can be honestly really time-consuming.
Right, so imagine if there's a way to make it all easier, to streamline it. Well, there's this company, Upheaval Games, and they're really trying to do just that. They're using AI to change how games are made, AMD played.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
Because they want to make game development, especially those really tough parts, easier for, well, pretty much everyone, even if you don't have a giant team to help you.
And they're doing this with something they call the AI Gaming Platform, or AIGP for short. It even has a kind of cool name, like a code name almost. Cynthia.
It does make you think of something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right. But Cynthia's not just like some assistant, It's more like having a whole team of developers right there with you, like all the time. 3D models, animations, even getting characters all set to move in a game, all rigged up. All of that can be done just by, get this, by just saying what you want.
It's pretty mind-blowing. Like, imagine someone coming up with an idea for a game, right? And actually being able to just create it without needing, a massive budget or a huge team of developers. Cynthia could make it much easier for individuals, for anyone really, to get their game out there.
It's almost like talking your game into existence. And get this, it's not just about the visuals, about how it looks either. Cynthia can generate backstories for the characters, figure out their personalities.
It's incredible.
And even come up with the game stats. No more spending hours and hours on those really technical parts that, let's be honest, can be kind of tedious.
Yeah, and that's where things get really interesting, I think. Because by letting Cynthia deal with all those, time-consuming tasks, developers can really focus on the stuff that makes games fun. The story, how the game plays, building that immersive world. That's the important stuff.
It's true. It's like, imagine instead of an artist having to spend weeks grinding up pigments and prepping a canvas, they could just start painting right away. But in this case, it's a whole game world they're creating. So we've been talking about how this AI, Cynthia, can completely change how games are made. But get this, Upheaval Games.
They didn't stop there.
They didn't stop there.
No.
They're also using AI to change how we actually experience games.
Right.
And it's all because of something called adaptive gameplay. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Okay, tell me more.
So essentially, the AI kind of adjusts elements of the game
Okay.
depending on how you're playing.
I see.
So imagine this.
Okay.
You're playing an RPG.
Okay.
And you breeze through a really difficult fight. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
The AI picks up on that.
Oh, wow.
And then suddenly you're faced with this side quest.
Oh, really?
Where you have to fight a legendary monster, something that only players who've really mastered the combat system would even be ready for.
So it's like the game knows that I'm up for a challenge and throw something extra my way.
Exactly. Or let's say you're the kind of player who explores every single nook and cranny of the game world.
Yeah.
You're really digging into the lore and the hidden areas.
Yeah.
The AI might pick up on that.
Really?
And start revealing even more secrets.
Oh, wow.
More backstory.
That's cool.
Things that a less curious player might totally miss.
That's amazing.
It's all about creating an experience, I think.
Yeah.
That's really tailored to how each person plays.
So you're telling me that every single playthrough could be totally unique?
That's the direction things seem to be headed in.
Wow.
It's not that the AI is taking over the creative control.
Yeah.
It's more like a superpowered dungeon master, constantly adjusting the story and the challenges to fit your playstyle and the choices that you're making.
Oh, okay, so that's really cool and all, but I have to ask, doesn't that take away some of the creativity from the game developers?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What if I want to experience the game exactly as they designed it?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And definitely something that developers are thinking about a lot with adaptive gameplay.
Right.
The goal isn't to create a completely random experience.
I see.
There's still, a core story. There's still very specific challenges.
Right.
And this really carefully crafted world.
Yeah.
The AI is really just building on top of that foundation. Adding layers and variations to make each player's journey feel more personal,
Right.
and maybe more engaging for them.
So it's not like limiting creativity.
No, not at all.
It's actually opening up all these new possibilities
It's a good thing.
for the developers and for the players.
I like to think of it like this.
Okay.
Imagine you go to a concert
Okay.
and the musician plays their set list
Yeah.
exactly as planned,
Right.
which is awesome.
Is.
But then imagine if,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to that, they could also improvise a little bit,
Yeah.
play off the energy of the crowd,
Oh.
maybe even like take a couple requests
Wow.
and weave those in seamlessly into their performance.
That's cool.
That's kind of what I think of when I think of adaptive gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like taking something that's already great and
Yeah.
adding this incredible layer of personalization and responsiveness on top of it.
I like that, yeah. Okay, so like we've got AI that can help build these really intricate game worlds, and it can make each player's experience different.
Yeah.
This has got to be huge for the gaming industry.
It has the potential to be massively disruptive, yeah.
In a good way, I'm assuming.
Mostly good, I think.
Yeah,
For smaller developers, it's almost like they're on a level playing field with the really big studios now.
because they have access to these same tools, right?
Exactly. They have access to these really powerful AI tools now. And for the big companies.
Yeah, what about them?
I think it could mean that we see games that are even more complex, more intricate,
Bigger, better, faster.
and way more groundbreaking than anything we can even imagine right now, yeah.
So more unique games, more creative freedom, experiences that are like tailor-made for each player. It's pretty mind-blowing when you actually stop and think about it.
And you know what? The biggest change might not even be about making games faster or with like super realistic graphics.
I bet you're going to tell me it's about the story.
It's about the story. It's about how AI changes the relationship between a player and the game itself. We could be looking at a future where games become truly interactive stories.
Whoa, so your choices would actually matter.
Your choices could lead to entirely different outcomes.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild.
So it's not just about like, pressing buttons anymore. It's about making decisions that could change the entire experience.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, if AI can do this for games, what other creative fields are out there that it could completely transform?
Right.
I mean, could architects use AI to design houses that are like perfectly matched to the people who live there?
You could just say, I need a 4-bedroom house with this and that, and the AI could draft it up.
Exactly. Or musicians could use AI to create these like personalized soundtracks for our lives.
It's really exciting to think about.
It's a little intimidating too, right? But like in a good way. It's like we're standing at the very edge of something totally new, something incredible. So I guess what I'm trying to say is next time you're checking out a new game, really think about how it feels different from all the rest, how it responds to you as a player.
I think people are going to be surprised.
The future of gaming is here, and it sounds like it's going to be a wild ride. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everybody.